All this week, I'm talking with Marcus Crawford, the owner and operator of Bro-Ritos food truck, which is already growing to be a top food truck in the state of New Jersey. Among other things today, we're talking about how modern food trucks often provide better food than you can get from a restaurant. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new buyability tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your buyability only on Zillow.
I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today.
No problem. Appreciate you having me.
I've been looking forward to it.
Good.
Okay, let's start with your background. Start from, the moments you really got an interest in food. Tell me about your education and any jobs that you had that were not food related.
Okay, cool. So my background is, I'm a Jersey guy, born and raised in New Jersey. I took the sports path, played sports all growing up, walked on and played Division I basketball down at FIU, which is in Miami. I went to business school there at FIU with plans on, getting my bachelor's in business and then, moving up to New York and working in the New York City life. At the time I graduated, which is in 2010, we were still coming out of that recession from '08. Not that I really wanted to work for anybody anyway, but it was hard. So I interned with the NFL Alumni Association, which was in North New Jersey. That was a cool job. And then from there, I believe I was a host at TGI Fridays. So that's like kind of the start before I actually started working with a food business. But that entire time, I've always wanted to work for myself. I always had visions to work for myself. Always wanted to be a restaurant owner, a hotel owner. I wanted to be in that hospitality field. And then when the opportunity kind of presented itself where I can't really find a job, and then, I got a little bit of experience here. I was like, hey, look, I can start a food truck. It's a lower cost of entry. And then to probably get my wheels spinning on learning how to run a business. And then we could take this and evolve it into those, restaurant, hotel aspirations and so on. That would be, a quick hit at the background.
Your background is very typical for a lot of people. They choose a food truck because it's low entry, like you said. But let me ask you about your business background and the education that you had. Looking back, would you have done anything different with that education and more focus it on food? Are you getting benefit from that in your food business?
No. So, the thing about the food truck is, it's not like, I don't have a culinary background, but I know flavor. I know branding. I understand business. So I understand all of the things that go into a great restaurant or a food brand. And just because I don't have a culinary background doesn't mean I can't do it, clearly. I mean, we're able to do it and we're able to do it well. Our products are very good, being the food, which speaks for itself. And brand is top notch, if you ask me, but it's purposely done with a business mindset. So I wouldn't say that I would do anything different to focus, because my mind, even from being, a young teenager, was I want to own a business. I want to be an owner of something. What I would probably say is maybe I would have took, a couple different electives,
right.
Or, something that would have kind of guided me a little bit more towards the food or running a restaurant,
right.
What goes into that? Because all of that stuff I had to go ahead and learn on my own.
How hard was it to learn all that on your own?
I don't want to say it was super hard, but I also feel like it's more so because I have an open mindset of understanding that things weren't going to be perfect, understanding that, every day, if something went wrong or went right, it was trials and tribulations. Like, we're learning.
Right.
That was my mindset. So it was very open. So, when we did hit little, speed bumps, I just took them with a grain of salt and kept on going. I read a couple different books, YouTube research, and, just trying to take in as much information as I can that was accessible to me. And then on top of that, I would just ask other food truck owners, like, hey, how do you do this? Or, why do you do this? Or what should we do? And I just found it easy to kind of have those conversations. conversations because at the end of the day, I was trying to build a brand that I believed in. So, speaking to anybody about anything was, hey, either you're going to help me or not. Either you're going to help me or you're not, and I'm not going to feel any type of way about it. So
good. I'm glad to hear that. A lot of folks will ask the similar questions, but then I also run across people that are very shy and they're afraid of stepping up and asking that food truck owner. Did you run into any people that were, say, not helpful?
There's this lady in New York when I was first thinking about opening in New York and being a New York food truck, and it was an ice cream truck,
right? And
I went to ask her like, hey, would you mind telling me a little bit about the process of how you got started? And she flat looked at me and said no. She said, no, I will not tell you. And I said, why? She said, you're going to be my competition. I said, I don't want to do ice cream. I'm not looking to be a dessert truck. I'm looking to do food. So I don't think we're competitors. And I just wanted to see if you would help me. She literally looked at me again and said, no. So that was one experience that I will never forget. I don't know who she is or anything, but that was kind of an awakening. Like, okay, some people may think this is more of a competitive dog eat dog world when I wasn't seeing it that way. But yeah, her response to me was a shock at the moment. I was just like, whoa, whoa.
Oh, exactly. There are a number of people that have that attitude and they feel like it's the pie is real tiny and they don't want to share it with anybody. What they don't understand is if they would help you to be super successful, it makes the pie bigger.
Right.
So their slice ends up getting bigger because then people have a different attitude towards a food truck. Because you've been doing this long enough that perhaps some people still have a negative view of a food truck. It's greasy spoon and
they still, some people still call them roach coaches and that. And it's like, no, they're more gourmet now. Now you could get better food from a food truck than you can some restaurants at this point. It's you can look, you can see, you can literally look inside and see my kitchen. You can see everything that's going on.
Yep.
So anything that you may be worried or nervous about, it's kind of, out of the window because, we're killing on that. Our window's wide open. Our back door is wide open. People walk to the back and they peek in and they're looking like, what's going on? Yeah, we're in here cooking. We're doing what we're supposed to do. And just to add on to the story about the woman that didn't want to help me, I did find that in New Jersey, when I, got things going, a lot of the food truck owners were a little bit more friendly and a little bit more, hey, do this, do that. And kind of like you said, it opens up, it's a bigger pie. So, you make relationships with other food truck owners and they may have something on their table for their calendar that they can't fulfill. And they'll give you a call. Hey, look, I can't do this today. Can you handle it? And vice versa. So, I do that a lot with other truckers that, that I know and have known over the years where, hey, somebody needs a burger truck, I'm calling Good Food, Good Mood. Somebody needs another taco truck, I'm calling Mexi Flip. Somebody needs empanadas, I'm calling Empanada Guy. I could go down the line because I have relationships with all of these food truck owners. And I'm confident in them as well as them being confident in me that they're going to get the job done.
That's absolutely awesome. I love hearing that. That's just such a great attitude. I wish I could get that across to all the food truck owners. It would make the world a better place for sure. So you had mentioned that you worked at, was it Fridays?
Yeah, TGI Fridays.
How did that kind of prepare you for doing food service or doing your own business, rather?
So I started as a host, which, again, I'm coming out of college. I have a degree.
Right.
And one of the first jobs I landed is TGI Friday. So I think that I'm going on a backwards track. And, mentally I'm already frustrated. But, being in there, slow times, it's like, okay, we got nothing to do. But then when things get busy, it's just like action. It's just like action. So whether we're running food out of the kitchen, things getting 86 off the list, being able to help get food out to somebody else's table and it's not your table, all of those type things were kind of simple for me, just being a team player from my sports background.
Right.
And they're very much so the same thing that we need on the food truck. We got times where we have nice mellow flow service. And then we have time where we have a line of 100 long and we got to be going.
Yep.
And you just got to be good enough to, kind of catch on or know your team enough to say, okay, you know what? He's on the grill right now. Let me throw the wraps on. When he turns around from the grill, the wrap's going to be ready for him. Then while he's doing that, I'm already knocking something else out. So I would definitely say that, my TGI Fridays experience did give me, a little bit of an upside when it came to actually like the fast pace of a food truck.
Let me ask you this question then. Let's say you didn't have the TGI Fridays experience. Do you think you could have done the food truck as well?
I think so. Absolutely. TGI's wasn't my only food experience. I actually ended up working for a food company by the name of Soup Man, the original Soup Man. So I had gotten more administrative understanding of the food business with that company. And then they had a store, which I would actually have to do like pop-up shifts in. So I would run their, do shifts in their store too. I think that those things were helpful, but ultimately I don't think running a food truck is hard. I don't think running out my food truck is hard.
Right.
And designed that way on purpose. Again, I don't have a culinary background. Most of my team doesn't have a culinary background. So we wanted to create something that pretty much can be simplified so that I could do it and they could do it. And then again, as we try to multiply and expand, it could be duplicated. The process could be duplicated over and over again and keep it simple. So, to answer that question, I could absolutely done it without those experiences just by design. I didn't try to put too much on my plate. I didn't try to serve everything. No, we're not doing that. We're going to do a limited menu, something simple, something we can control, and this is what's going to work.
See, I love hearing that because one of the things that I do besides the podcast is I coach food truck owners. And invariably, one of the first conversations we have is what's going to be on your menu. And then they start listing off. And I'm writing all this stuff down. I'm like, slow down. I can't keep up. They're listing off just ridiculous, huge menus. And I'm like, well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is thin it down. You can't be all things to all people. So I think it's awesome that you're coming into the business knowing to keep it simple. And see, I think your background from college, when you were a sports, playing on the teams, you did football or basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay. What was your position?
The 1 and 2. So point guard, shooting guard.
Okay. I played basketball as well, but I probably wasn't near as good as you are because I just wasn't any good. The only thing that got me on the team was I was really, really tall.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean I'm any good.
You can't teach height. That's what they say. You can't teach
exactly. And there were benefits to being tall, that's for sure. But still, I was not anywhere as good as some of the other players were. But that sports connection and the teamwork connection is so important in food service. I'm glad that you saw that and brought it up because anybody could do this business if they just think about it and think it through.
Right.
So that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Tomorrow, Marcus and I will talk about maintenance and keeping the food truck on the road. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.